Welcome back. Now, in a fresh twist, the Federal High Court, Abuja, has ordered INEC to allow eligible voters with temporary voter cards participate in the March 18th governorship and state houses of assembly elections. Justice Obiora Iguatu, who gave the ruling on Thursday, predicated the order on the grounds that the plaintiffs were duly registered and captured in INEC's database. The court held that there was no portion of the law, both in the 1999 Constitution and the Electoral Act, that states that it was only permanent voter cards, that's PVCs now, that could be used for voting, but that the law under Section 47 provided for a voter's card. But INEC last night vowed to appeal against the court order now. The Chief Press Secretary to the INEC chairman, Rotimi Oyekomi, said the commission confirmed that INEC had been served with the court order, but was taking necessary steps now to vacate it. Vacated now at the trial court. INEC had repeatedly held that only eligible voters with PVCs would be allowed to vote in the 2023 presidential and governorship elections. So joining me now to discuss this is legal practitioner Gabriel now Ehigato, who joins us from Benin. Thank you very much, Gabriel, for joining us on the program. Does this create some kind of confusion now, if you like, for INEC?
For us, the law is the law. The court is so supreme that it must give its own judgment and it must be obeyed. To me, I think INEC have not done the needful. Over time, INEC have, restricted power to themselves to also run their own functionality, without actually giving so unduly concentration to the law. What we know as lawyers is that a law must reflect the interests of the people. A law is not made for just for certain kind of reason. It's made for the generality of the people. And I think, for me, the court have done so well. They've actually do the needful. Because when you look at the law, even the Electoral Act says that a voter will only vote when he presents himself with a voter's card. It was not stipulated that it must be either a permanent voter's card or a temporary voter's card. When you look at section 47, subsection 1 of the Electoral 2022 as amended, you will see it for yourself. It's very clear. It's one of the most finest and simple interpretation of law in the Electoral Act, that a voter will be present at the polling unit, presenting himself with the voter's card to the presiding officer. So it is stipulated there must be a permanent voter card or a temporary voter card. But over the years, sir, since 2011 or so, INEC have, compared to themselves some powers, creating issues here and there, saying that you can only vote with the permanent voters card, and it's not in our law. It's not in our constitution.
But then let me ask, how does INEC handle this, considering the fact that the BVAS machine that is used for accreditation before voting is allowed, that BVAS machine recognizes the permanent voter card? I'm just wondering if would it be possible, would a voter with a temporary voter card now who gets to the polling unit now, would that person be allowed to vote? Would the BVAS, for instance, be able to authenticate that voter?
Well, for me, I think if the BVAS could not capture a voter with a temporary voter's card, then I think there's nothing INEC can do about that. But I had some incident in the last general election, the one that we just concluded, the presidential election, where people came to polling unit with the temporary voter's card, and they were not allowed to vote. They were not allowed to vote. So it shows that INEC themselves haven't mind over time that you must vote with your permanent voter's card. I think that was because the BVAS machine that came into innovation, that was where they were hammering on that. And do not also forget that some persons will actually refuse to go and collect their permanent voter's card. And also, they will also complain on the side of INEC. INEC were not proactive enough to provide the permanent voter's card for people. So for me, the court are giving an order that you cannot disenfranchise those with the permanent, with the temporary voter's card. But paraventure, they come to the voting unit and the voting center, and the BVAS machine is not able to capture them because they are temporary voters card holder then there's nothing INEC can do. And I think that's why INEC are insisting that they must appeal the judgment.
Because I'm just wondering if INEC does not get, I mean, if this appeal does not sail through before the governorship election now, governorship and state houses of assembly election scheduled for 18th, I'm just wondering, would INEC be running foul of the law, for instance, if people were to come, I mean, voters were to come with their temporary voter cards now, especially for the plaintiffs now who have gotten this judgment in their favor, if they were to go to polling units on election day on the 18th, and they are not allowed to vote because they don't have the permanent voter cards. I'm just wondering, what would INEC be running foul of the law, and could that, legally speaking now, could that invalidate any election organized under that circumstance?
Well, the law is clear. It's clear. If INEC do not allow those with the temporary voters card to cast their vote that day, it means INEC will be disobeying the court order, and that will be a big amount on INEC, and that can also go further to affect the processes of the election. But I don't think that will validate the election, to so speak, because our law consultants look at circumstances before they give judgment, and they also consider the circumstances, the effect, the outcome of such a judgment. But I think in this case, my lord, the Honorable Justice Obiora Eguta of the Federal High Court that gave that judgment, they actually look at the circumstances surrounding or the effect of the judgment we're going to give. So for me, I think the INEC officials should obey the court order, and subsequently, let's see what play out from.
When you say they should obey the court order now, I'm just wondering, of course, they've said they're going to appeal against it. But when you say they should obey the court order, I'm just wondering whether they would be able to, for instance, configure the BVAS to even recognize voters with temporary voter cards.
Yeah, in as much as you have to obey the law, you have to also allow the law to have its course. You must obey court order first. It is obey before you complain. As we speak, sir, the judgment given by the law court is what is sustainable, or it is appeal. There's nothing anybody can do about it. If INEC know that if with those with the temporary voters card come to polling unit that they will not be allowed to vote, because after all the BVAS machines are going to catch up there, the INEC should do the needful by appealing this judgment as soon as possible. But for INEC to relax themselves and that people with the temporary voters card not going to vote that day, there is going to be a very big issue for them. It's going to cause a lot of crisis at the polling unit. It's going to be create a lot of menace at the voting center. So for me, I will advise INEC to be as fast as possible appeal this judgment, because the judgment has already been given and the law must be obeyed. The court said that Section 47 of the Electoral Act provides that a voter can vote by the voter's card. It is stipulated that the permanent voter's card or the temporary voter's card. That is the law. That is the plain interpretation of the Electoral Act. And there's no way stated in our law that it must be a permanent voter's card to vote or a temporary voter's card. So for me, as long as I sympathize with INEC, but the law is the law. The court has given an order and it must be obeyed.
All right. Gabriel Higata, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for joining us on the program.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.